So John here has already been partially equipped. We've got his leg harness on, consists of a greave, a poline and a cuisse, and a demi-cuisse here to cover the rear of the thigh. To cover the main part of the body we have a mail shirt. We couldn't make pieces of armour big enough at this period, so mail tended to dominate and cover the areas that the plate couldn't. He has a padded bonnet or an arming cap ready to go under his helmet. He has his first arm on. I will put the second arm on so you can see how it works and how it all fits together. The arm consists of three major parts. We have the vambrace, we have the couter with wing to protect the inside of the elbow, and we have the rear brace. The armour is pointed on, which means it's tied on. It comes from a term to be armed at all points, which means to be fully armoured from head to toe, and is secured around the body with a series of buckles, as you can see here. Now I'm putting the points into place. These are a series of laces at the top that go through a large piece of very strong leather, and this holds the harness at the correct height and stops it sliding down. We then move on to the final lace that just holds everything in place on the arm, and we'll move on. This is called the spauldar. Very simple plate. It points on to cover the shoulder, and more importantly to cover the laces that were exposed underneath. If they're cut, obviously the armour doesn't work. So we point these on, like so, and as you can see this covers the majority of the arm now. And he can move and he can twist his arms freely. The next item Sir John will have is a breastplate. This is the biggest piece of metal that could be forged at this point in history. And it's held on by a series of straps around the waist and up the back and behind. And again, this is where I can get my own back and make sure it fits correctly. And we have two straps over the shoulder to secure it at the top. Up the back and over the shoulders to hold everything firmly in place. The next piece we put on is going to be the bassinet. This is the type of most common type of helmet in this period. A steel skull protection. It has a leather strap called a vervaise that holds the mail aventail. We always call this mail. Chainmail's a modern term. This slides straight down over the top of the head, if you'd like to check the fit, sir. And then the aventail, which is the mail skirt hanging from it, covers the bulk of the body. We'll now move on to Sir John's cyclist coat. This is where we get the term a coat of arms. It bears his heraldry, which is a form of insignia personal to him. As you can see here, Sir John's heraldry, the Hawkwood arms displayed on the front. Every knight is different, because obviously when you're in harness, you cannot be seen from a distance. So what we try and do is make sure his arms are prominently displayed, because obviously when you are fully kitted up, your face can't be seen at all. So they need a way to recognise that you're actually a friend. Next we'll go on Sir John's belt. As Sir John is fighting in a tourney, he has elected not to wear a scabbard because it just impedes his movement. So he has a small iron ring attached to the side for his next piece of equipment, his sword. This is the symbol of knighthood. This is the most important part of his kit. Would have been awarded to him when he was made a knight. Next we'll move on to the gauntlets. These are called hourglass gauntlets because of the shape. They're highly decorative. The richer you were, the more ornate your equipment was. It says that you will take me for ransom rather than kill me. War in this period was all about money. If you could capture a rich knight, it could set you up for life. So, are you happy with the fit, Sir John?
Yes.
We'll move on to the other gauntlet. You're in. Next goes Sir John's shield. We'll put this on the back today. It's on a gauge strap, which means when not in use, it sits on the back and also can very quickly, if needed, while on horseback or on foot, be slid round to the front into a protected position. Sir John's secondary weapon of choice is the mace. This is a flanged mace of 8 flanges, a rather nasty piece of equipment. The points on it will actually allow you to smash through the plate. A good strike will put a knight on the floor and probably kill him. It's a very popular weapon at this time. So we'll give Sir John his mace. And last of all, if fighting at a tournament, Sir John has his great helm. And this is actually worn over his bassinet. It has more protective value but less vision. And this goes over the top and has his wreath and mantle in his colours to help with recognition, and a crest also to help with recognition, so Sir John can be recognised from a distance. Sir John is now ready to take part in the tourney.